Good morning, and once again, your student, Dolphy Alexander Gilpin. I'm here at 1524 La Vista Drive, Decatur, Georgia, second floor, and I am continuing with now my STEAM generation of the Amz5x12 matrix outputs. And here we have now the CMEDM. DM stands for determinant matrices here. And what we did, we generate or we synthesize a source matrix, and these inputs was coming in from real tangible source, the LF05965264D F5, the MB6495542 B2, and the MB4495543 B2, and the CB7989843 B2. And so we're trying to synthesize a 5x11, 5x12 matrix here. And what happens is that we were short of a uniform source here. And so what happened, an abstract synthesis was done. And we call this abstract synthesis GG482974718G7. This system was random, was just chosen from the mind, whereas these were real. These were taken from the bank, used for everyday domestic purposes, and they were just used to provide make up this 5x12, 5x11, 5x12 source. But like I said, this one, DG 482974718G7, was abstract synthesized, and it operates as in the chemical sense, a catalyst to speed up the production of these 5x11, 5x12 outputs. Or in a biological sense, an enzyme which speeds up an enzymatic reactions. Now from this source matrix, we went in to generate some SLS DLS outputs from the MB, choosing one of these MB. Why? Because we had two MB that was close, not only in letters but in numbers, and so therefore the probability or the possibility of having random redundant outputs was more real than with the others, which were isolated and differentiated from each other. So here's now the MB, and we generate some AP production here. And these were the 4x4s, 4x4s generated in the PDM processing. The DGA, which came from the abstract catalytic or enzymatic, whether it's a biological or a chemical production was being made. And all these were coming from monetary economic perspective, though. LFD, MBQ, and the CBF. And 5 of them, 4x4s. And here we have now, we will continue now to generate these in the PDM processing now, using the MB inputs. We have the MBQ, and we have the 1, 2, 3, 4x4s. And remember, we're using dual pair numerals or dual pair digits. And the MB05, MB64, these were all products now of the PDM processing. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think there were 18 4x4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. This one came from, there was some error made, and the error only introduced more outputs, so we continued was to use it. So that the error sometimes becomes as a productive error, I would call this, as it generates more outputs and more possibilities of differentiated outputs in these 1x11 SLS MLS outputs. So here we have it. So we can remove this one, because we're going to be going through this very quickly. These are the 4x4s. And if we add here this page, what we had is the source matrix 5x12 here again, and some other 4x4s. And from here we generated now, as you could see here, a systematic generation from the PDM process. From the MB, using just the MB. And remember, you could also use the LF, MB, CB, or the DG inputs to do all of this. And so we would have ended up with a magnanimous amount of outputs here, which can be calculated by combination and permutation, or from the systemic count from this production. I'm trying to very quickly go through this, and therefore I'm going through very fast, and this does not do justice. We have turned over here, and we have shown that we have used the DG, which was the abstract synthesis, and we have generated the 4x4s and the 3x3s from it. So we have, from the 4x4, we move to the 3x3s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, and 17, I think the uneven number came from one of the matrices that was, some error was done via analysis, and therefore we had an extra one. But that's good for us in that it gives us some differentiated outputs, which make it more. And so here we have now the individual 1x11, which went back into the original format of the source that was taken, which was what we wanted. So these are the SLS generation. I remember we're saying that the SLS can be termed, at first we said cereals like sand, but since now we know sand is like silicon, and wherever you find sand, you'll find silicon, we said cereals like silicon. So these are the cereals like silicon generation. And we had also shown some silicon connection to this SLS DLS outputs. And last but not least, we showed that we came down in the PDM processing now to these 2x2s. We had 4x4, 3x3, now 2x2s, and we had a lot of 2x2s here. This is only some of them that was generated. The 2x2s here. And the purpose of this was to easily now generate these 1x11, 1x12, which take us back into this format of the original input. And so here we have some original, this is not yet arranged in AP series, as this are just directly coming from the PDM processing. So here we have it, just some of the outputs from the PDM SLS MLS outputs. Remember here we have seen that the DM started with determinant matrices. At first when we saw that those matrices are determinant, and sometimes we had a P which is partial matrix determinant, I call it, as we, in generating these things, we don't do the crisscross and the subtraction. We just generate the digits, the 1x11, 1x12 final output. So we call it a partial determinant, instead of a full determinant, which would require us crisscrossing and multiplying and then subtracting. Like we have multiplied this by this and subtracted from this by this. But it's not necessary for this, because we're just trying to provide or to generate these 1x11 unique outputs. And we said now that it was the STEAM, the A in the STEAM, standing for architecture, architectural application, that led us to this exercise in the PDM Amz5x12 matrix output production. So this is a concentrated video, and this is good for those who already knew all about the stuff that has been done for the past 5-6 years here in America. So I've not done a lot of explanation, but I'm only showing you the source matrix 5x12, and then the 4x4s and the 3x2s and the 2x2s, and then the outputs in the STEAM production. And if you want, you could just add on this other thing now. We are seeing SLS cereals like silicon. We had a silicon circuit here generated, which was relative now to our AMZ5x12 matrix. And now we had come upon this now by the magnetization property of our AMZ5x12 matrix, which led us to the periodic table. And from the periodic table, we extracted silicon. And then we did serial studies from silicon. So we have some silicon devices, serials like silicon, and the silicon devices, you know that the silicon is very intrinsic in the IC circuitry in these devices, EMOS, MMOS, MOSFET, silicon MOSFET, bipolar junction MOSFET, metallic oxide semiconductor field effect transistor circuitry, and the operation of it there. And the MOSFET amplifier used the metallic oxide silicon transistor connected in the common source configuration. And these were some of the silicon application here for the silicon. This is a compact video, and a lot of information is being pushed out here, and it does not do justice in terms of the time that was used in the preparation of these source materials. So there we have it, the SLS cereals like silicon generation from our steam production in the AMZ5x12 matrix application, input-output application from our amazing 5x12 matrix. So we're going to take a break here, and then we will return some other time with some other topic in some other field with the application of our AMZ5x12 matrix and its property, uses, and applications.